Mr. Andrew could not find what he kept in the room. He searched everywhere but did not find it. He was extremely annoyed. Her dad was in Kate's dream. Kate dreamed where Andrew was shouting at her to the point that she became scared. She woke up from that dream wondering why she was that scared, because physically she is a definition of a fearless lady. She said, "I cannot possibly be that weak and scared." She became worried because of that dream. She came out to the living room later that day, still wondering why such fear gripped her in the dream. Her worries moved her into recalling the past. She remembered when she was in the living room with the husband discussing. It was a moment of chit-chat between Mr. Andrew and Kate. Mr. Andrew cherished any moment he spent with the wife. The discussion continued until at a point when Kate's attention was taken away by unseen distraction. Mr. Andrew continued unknowingly to him that Kate's attention was no more. At a point, Mr. Andrew discovered that Kate was no more listening and he stopped. He searched for what has taken Kate's attention, but he found nothing. The mistake he made was to tap her on the shoulder to call back her attention. Immediately, Kate fled in anger, scolding as if Mr. Andrew was a total stranger in the house and to her. She walked away from Mr. Andrew, leaving him in a state of total confusion. This is a moment that Mr. Andrew has never been able to explain what actually happened. She remembered when her husband, Mr. Andrew, came to the living room where she was sleeping to surprise her with a gift. He bought her a wrist gold chain. He quietly removed the old bangle in her hand and put the newly bought gold chain in her hand. He did that for him to get a hug or a kiss of thank you from the wife, but what he got was shocking and embarrassing. After putting on the new gold chain on Kate's hand, Mr. Andrew tapped her on the shoulder to wake her up. She was too tired to respond to that touch, but when she finally woke up, this is what happened. When Kate saw that the bangle in her hand has been replaced, she rushed up from where she was lying down, snatched away her old locally made bangle from Mr. Andrew and quickly removed his new gold chain and threw it at him. This is the craziest thing ever seen by Mr. Andrew. Kate fled as usual, shouting and scolding in anger, giving Mr. Andrew warning never to touch her old bangle again, and left after that. Mr. Andrew remained a confused man in his marriage as usual. After remembering all these things, Kate knew that something was not okay with her. She knelt down to talk to God about that situation. She knelt down and prayed. She asked God to help her that she could not help herself. She prayed with all her heart. After that prayer, God revealed a secret to her in the dream. In her dream, Kate saw where she was sleeping and a man appeared standing and dancing beside her. She started feeling that there is a connection between her and the man. Immediately, a beaded bangle appeared in her bed beside her. After that, the man disappeared and she woke up from sleep in her living room. Kate just got the password that will help her log into the secret thing about her life, which will restore peace to her life and marriage. She searched everywhere for the bangle, and when she found it, she prayed like never before, jumping and shouting and yelling on top of her voice, because this case must be settled today. At a point, you might wonder if Kate was dancing or praying, but that was all for good. The prayer continued aggressively and radically. Kate kept pushing, and boom, something happened. The bangle disappeared. Now Kate knew the prayer was working. She prayed more, though a bit scared of what happened. She prayed in fear, but God that has decided to answer has answered. This was a total liberation in the life of Kate. This was restoration of peace in Mr. Andrew's house. As God may have it, later that evening, Mr. Andrew returned home. He came back and met what he was not expecting. When he opened the door, the wife rushed out to meet him. She was in tears, crying for forgiveness. She knelt down before the husband in tears, crying for mercy. Mr. Andrew was shocked by the recent development. This is what he has been praying for. He has to grab the peace that has returned in his house. Remember this, there must be obstacles in a marriage, but marriage is not meant to be endured, but to be enjoyed. Are you like Kate and you kept quiet to allow the devil to snatch away the peace in your home? I charge you now to stand up and do something. In the life of Mr. Andrew and Kate, as far as I'm concerned, this is when their marriage has begun. Next Friday, we are bringing to you another mind-blowing episode. Follow our page now for more episodes. Please help us to pass this information around by sharing this video. Follow us on Facebook and subscribe to our YouTube channel. And make sure you turn on the notification bell for you to get our videos each time we post new videos. See you next Friday. Thank you for your support.